Hello and thank you everybody for joining today's webinar. Today's webinar is the second in the series and it will be on data preparation. It will be a few slides and then a demonstration. Today's talk presenter is Giuseppe Malanga, who is the Senior Solutions Architect here at SAISI. Over to Giuseppe.
Thank you for attending this second web talk. So the topic of today is data preparation. I am Giuseppe Malanga, Solution Architect at SAISI. Let's have a look at the agenda. So the first slide is about the problem we are trying to solve. Then we are going to talk about why you need data preparation. We are going to talk also about the data preparation overview in terms of components. And at the end, we have a little demo about create data preparation in a dataset, use the data preparation to discover the data, use a pre-built data preparation function to cleanse data, share the data preparation dataset, and add a lookup table to the data preparation and export the result file. So let's talk about the problem we are trying to solve. Today, in many organizations, we saw a gap between business user and IT people. So business user want to access the data faster, and most of the time IT people don't share the data, don't build the data in time enough for the business users. So this is a main problem from the organizations, and the business people have spent most of the time preparing the data and also creating different copies of the same datasets. So why you need data preparation? So the idea is to have a unique tool to empower business users to quickly clean, standardize, and format data coming from IT systems. So you have a unique platform for different types of users, business users and IT users, and they work together to have a unique standard data. Let's have a look at the Talend data preparation overview components. So Talend data preparation is a web application. So it's a self-service data cleansing platform to create clean, valuable data in minutes, not hours. And it allows business to faster business insights. So this is an overview of the data preparation platform. So let's have a look at the components. So we have the data preparation server, which is based on MongoDB for storing the dataset and the preparation repository. And it has a web application, so it's accessible from any type of browser. Then using the Talend Studio, so you can load a dataset to the data preparation platform, and you can retrieve datasets from the data preparation server. The Talend Administration Center allows administrators to create users, create groups, create projects, and use data integration jobs to load and store datasets to the data preparation server. So let's go then to the demo. Before the demo, let's clarify what is a dataset. So a dataset is like a table in a database which holds the raw data. It's presented as a table on which you can apply recipes without affecting the original data. So what are the concepts of the data preparation? So basically you have an input dataset, you are doing some transformation and cleansing step on the top, and you build an outcome. So the important concept is that the source data never changes, so the datasets are immutable to allow reusing and sharing, and different preparations can be created from the same datasets for different purposes and by different users. So going to the demo, this is the user interface of the data preparation web application. So if I log in, I can see the preparations that I already have done in the past, and I can see all the datasets available for me. So let's assume that the IT has already imported the datasets for me, and I have a dataset called customers. If I open these datasets, so this one is a collection of customers from US. So I can see that the data preparation has already done some semantic analysis on the columns. For instance, the column ID is an integer, so the column name has been recognized as a first name. The system has already recognized the column email as an email. And if I move through the columns, so for instance, I have the column states, and the system has already recognized that is a collection of states from US. And on the right side, you have different functions and different perspectives of the list of values. For instance, I can go to the row counting for the states. For instance, I can see that I have 100 rows, 100 values from Kansas. I have 79 values from California. So basically, using data preparation, you can discover your dataset without doing anything. So let's do some data cleansing and some action. So in the left side, you can see the data recipe. So basically, each action you apply is being recorded in the left side, and it makes a recipe that you can reuse. So if I look at the state column, I have a bar here. So the green value show me the right values for the column. For instance, I can filter the right value, and the filters appears here on the top, and you can see all the right value for the column states. The white tells me the empty values. If I click on here, I can filter for the empty value for the states, as you can see here. And the orange tells me the invalid value for this column. For instance, so I have some invalid value like PI, Texas, E. So let's start with some data cleansing actions. So removing the filters from the top and selecting, for instance, the column name. So the first action I want to do, I want to remove blank spaces in the column name. So on the right side, in the functions, I can filter for white spaces, and I have my function here. So basically, I can apply this function to the column name, and as you can see, the action has been recorded in the left side, and basically this is the first step of my recipe. So let's assume that the second step is changing from the lowercase to the uppercase the last name values. So I can filter for upper here in the right side, and I can change the style. As you can see, runtime, the column last name has changed from lowercase to uppercase. So let's say that now I want to clean the column states. So basically, I'm selecting the wrong value from the column states, and I want to replace Texas with the right uh, the right the right word. So I'm gonna replace Texas with TX, and submit the action. So as you can see, all the action are recorded in the left side. So now I'm gonna standardize some fields. For instance, the column date, as you can see, has different pattern. So I can have a look at the pattern using the pattern analysis in the right side. And as you can see, we have different patterns for data. So I want to standardize these dates in a single pattern. So I type date, and there is already a pre-built function called change date format. So I don't know the current format, so I don't know the format, best guess. And the format, I can choose from predefined format, or I can decide for a custom one. For instance, let's change it for month, day, year in this format. So runtime, as you can see, all the dates have been changed to this format, and the action has been recorded in the left side. So another action that you can do in the data preparation is splitting a single column to a multiple column. For instance, I have a campaign ID which contains the year and the quarter year. So I can split this campaign, this column. Let me just filter for the split function. So I want to split this in 3 parts, and my separator is the underscore. So basically, now, as you can see, there are 3 new columns: campaign ID 3, campaign ID 1, campaign ID 2, and campaign ID 3. So I'm interested in the second column, this one, which contains the year and the quarter. So I'm gonna delete this one, the third one, just created, and I'm using the function for deleting a single column here. And for this column, I'm gonna rename it in quarter of the year, so I can better understand the type of column. So I'm gonna create a new name for this column, and because I'm interested in year and which quarter of the year, so I'm gonna change the values using a regular expression. So let me find the function for replacing. So I can use regular expression like year, 2 digits, and quarter, 2 digits, and basically I'm gonna use the value matched from the regular expression to create this label, let's say this value. So as you can see, my values has been changed, and I have now quarter and year in a readable format, so I'm able to read the values. So another useful action that you can perform is the masking, the data masking. So for instance, I want to mask the email, the sensitive data from the email, and I'm gonna filter for the available function of masking data, and as you can see, all the sensitive data from the email has been masked. Same things for the credit card information. So I want to mask the credit card information. So I'm gonna use the same function. So let me filter the functions. And basically, the credit cards numbers has been replaced with random numbers. So we don't have sensitive data in the data set. So once I have done that, I can save the recipe because all the actions have been recorded in the left side. So you can also cancel the steps that you have done before and restore the original data. So I can save this recipe. For instance, I can save it in this folder, data ready for IT, and call it data preparation ready. So remember that the original dataset has not been changed, so it's just the preparation that has been recorded and available for you. So my data preparation has been saved in this folder. So what I can do is share this folder with other users in my organization. So let's see, there is an error. Let's see if I can share it. Okay, so I have another user available in this system. I have Chris Miller available, so I can share the data preparation with him, so he can make new changes. So once I have shared the data preparation with Chris, I'm gonna log out and log in as a Chris Miller. And I have the data available for me for Chris Miller. If I go inside the data preparation, you can see all the data and the recipe, that all the steps that I have made before. So Chris Miller, as a Chris Miller, for instance, I can perform new action, like for instance I can remove all the rows that have empty values in the name. And the action will be recorded in my recipe here. Same for the last name, so I can remove all the values from the dataset which has last name empty. And I can also look up this dataset with another dataset. For instance, I have got a new dataset with the region for each state. So basically, clicking on this icon here, I can look up the dataset of my customer with the region. So basically, I'm matching, so my foreign key will be the state, and I'm matching each state value, and I'm adding the region to the dataset 1, combining the dataset 2. So once I have done that, I've got here the region in my dataset 1 coming from the dataset 2. So, and of course, I can save again this dataset. So another action that I can perform is export. So I can export this dataset just created as a CSV or as an Excel or as a Tableau file. So let's assume that I want to export this as an Excel. So I confirm, and basically this one has been saved as an Excel file. You can open with Excel and you can see all the values created for you. So I can adjust the value. So as you can see, no sensitive data. Yeah, so basically those are all the action that you can perform with the data preparation. So, and it's a really useful application and is suitable to any user, business user, IT user. It's a lot of functions, easy to use, and really you can save a lot of time. I think this is all for me. So if you have any question, please ask.
Thank you, Giuseppe. Just a question regarding, but I think you just answered it right at the end. So you don't need to have, don't need to be a technical architect to be able to use this
No.
tool.
No.
No.
So what you need from the IT is just install it in a server, and basically you can access the data preparation from the web browser. So you don't need to install an application, do anything. You just need the URL and that's it.
Okay. And how big a data set can be put into this tool?
So basically, you can filter the columns that the rows that you want to perform. But to be honest, there is not a limit. Anyway, it depends on the performance of your server. If you have a really good server with a lot of memory and CPUs, you can load thousands and thousands of rows. So it depends really on the performance of the server.
Okay, I think that's all for questions. We'll be joining Giuseppe towards the end of this month for the last in this series around data integration, a topic that a lot of people are very interested in as people are migrating systems. I will send Giuseppe's details in the follow-up emails if you do have any other questions. We'll be happy to answer them. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you in the next session. Thank you, Giuseppe.
Thank you.